Yeah, exactly. We had an hour of sustained seriousness. Now the game's like, we're getting goofy again. Hold on. Might want to talk to them first. They might have cutscene dialogue. York, I can still feel her hand. It's okay, just try to calm down. I'm going after Willie. You just take it easy here. It's Smart Dog. I called an ambulance, but I know. Keep an eye on George and Nick. We still might need it. Make sure no one touches Diane's body either. I don't... What was that awful face?
Zach, Willie is calling for us.
Diane, we did what we could, but we still lost her. It wasn't all your... It wasn't all your fault, George. What do you mean? It wasn't all your fault. George put in like a Herculean effort. Especially considering he's like 3/4 drunk. Yes. Okay, hello. Taking a long way, huh? The scenic route. Alright, Kate, I will turn off the air conditioning, but first, I gotta follow this dog. I'm starting to think this guy doesn't actually know what's up. He's walking into walls. Doing a 360 in a room. Doesn't see anything. Oh, we had an observation there. Yep. He's just walking me to the treats. Yep. Woof woof, by the way. You know what? Maybe this is a great time for me to turn off the air conditioning. I lost him. Alright. Where'd you go, buddy?
Zach,
Not
Willie
that
is
way.
calling for us.
Not that way. Oh! Oh, there he is! Wow, he's done it. Mighty fine police work. Where to? I knew it. Not that way. Into the office room. Why couldn't I just follow this myself? With my human sense of sight and smell? I don't think so. You need a bloodhound to follow the trail of this murder. Look at that. Even he's just getting the scent for it right now. Can't quite figure out where it's supposed to go. Oh, he's done it again. Where to, Willie? Oh, trail goes cold, huh? Or does it? 2 bottles of wine next to the bed. You're right, Willie, but she's dead now. What does it matter? Working mirrors? Oh! Hold on. If only George were here. Yes, yes. Good boy. Yes.
Willie, are you out there?
Kason, what are you doing in there?
York, is that you? Thank God. I can't get this door open. Can you unlock it from your side?
What are you doing in a
Kason,
crawl space?
Stand away from the door.
in a hidden room in Diane's art gallery. Whoa, did you see the depth on his squad, though?
Where's Diane? And what are you doing here?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
Well, let's just say I have my reasons, you know, private reasons. I don't really have to tell you, do I?
Actually, you do. Diane just died a moment ago.
What?
You're not just a key witness now. You're now a suspect. And you need to tell me exactly what you were doing here.
Well, I just came here to talk with Diane, to have a conversation.
And I suppose that kiss mark on your cheek is from your conversation.
This was just a spur-of-the-moment thing.
Which is exactly what killed Diane.
Hey man, there's no law against being horny.
I came here to be with Diane. You happy now? We've been together before, a couple times. It's one of the reasons why I like coming to this town, see? This time is no different. I bumped into her in a bar in Seattle. I had some holiday coming up. Well, so I just took
This
it,
man
and
looks
I
like
drove her back here.
a resident of Seattle. Every time
I have a wife, you know.
Think of
but
the
we've been
typical
separated
Seattle
for a
resident.
while. We're going through a divorce right now, and I
see a
don't
large,
want her
middle-aged
lawyer
man
finding
in a
out.
plaid shirt and overalls.
Anyway, how could I kill Diane if I was in a room locked from the outside?
He has a good point.
2 hours ago, me and Diane, we were taking it easy, drinking upstairs. We were, you know, enjoying ourselves. Then Nick had to show up. Well, then Diane had a sudden change of heart. She locked me up in here.
As one does.
I've just been here, waiting for her to come back, of course, but she didn't. I heard footsteps a couple of times, but they just passed by.
Yeah, couldn't you have just closed
Well, then
it?
I couldn't wait anymore, so I let Willie here out through the window.
Oh, that
And
was
you
what I was
showed up
concerned
instead
about.
of Diane.
I like the
In fact,
idea
Diane has become the third
that he
victim
put
of our
himself
killer.
down there and took his dog with him, but the plant was like,
And nada from questioning Nick.
it's too precious. He's
No.
like, I won't take risks with the
No
plant.
new leads from questioning Nick. He's taken the death of Diane really badly. In shock, the works. He claims to have liked talking with her about art, but he also had a problem with her views about men. He says that they argued, but not at a level that would lead to a murder.
It was a strictly
They were
non-murderous
about to head
level
out
of
to the bar
argument.
again together. But while he was waiting for Diane, someone knocked him out cold.
Painted his
He
face.
has no idea who it was either. Of course, Kason looks
Let
like
me
a
know how
prime
that
suspect.
excuse works out for you in
But
the,
that door
in the
was
court
locked
of
from the
public
outside.
opinion.
There was no other way in or out of that room. Which means there is no evidence of his involvement at this time. He did say something else. The footsteps he heard outside the room were not heels, but a man's boots. And Nick was wearing boots.
Open and
But
shut
now
case.
that Diane's dead, no one can back up Nick's statement. Which is why we have Nick in custody and have to let Kason go free. That seemed like the only option, at least for now.
One more thing, Zach. George looked terribly depressed.
His eyes turned white.
I guess this case is really in. He's feeling responsible for the deaths of Becky and Diane. Take his rules and confidence away from him, I wonder what's left. Well, of course, he'd still have muscle.
What a strange way to put an end cap on that conversation. He was very strong. Funds total amount. All right, now we're due for some levity. By the way, potatoes will satisfy a small amount of your hunger. On the other hand, a smallmouth bass will replenish a moderate amount of your hunger.
Zach, let's get back to the hotel.
First Anna, then Becky, now Diane. I'm not looking forward to writing this investigation report.
It sounds hard.
Agent Morgan,
Life must be hard for
York.
you right now.
do you have a moment?
Dude, you gotta air out those shoes.
There's something I'd like to talk to you about. Do you have any time later?
Can't we just do it here?
If possible, I'd like to go to a bar. Of course, we don't really have to.
A bar? Now that sounds like a good idea.
Zach, what do you think? We can go drinking with George, or turn him down and head back to the
We
hotel.
gotta go drinking with George. I gotta talk more with the Monarch. I would love to spend some time with
George, that scar
new
on
song
your cheek.
with the
Where did you
hotelier,
get it?
but she's probably asleep by now. It's like
This?
6:30 p.m.
Didn't I tell you? Well, it's not from work. I got it when I was a kid.
A childhood injury. Tree climbing? I used to get a few scrapes myself climbing the big tree in our backyard. I used to climb it a lot. And it'd fall out.
But enough about me.
This wasn't anything like that, though. It was my mother. She did it.
I'm sorry, George.
Don't worry. It's ancient history. The world is flooded with unreasonable violence. The strong overpower the weak, adults over children, men over women, and criminals over their victims. I have no memories of my father. He left before I knew him. My mother would hit me every time I asked why. And it didn't stop there. If I ate too slow, left my shoes scattered around, TV volume too loud, she found reasons to hit me. Hit me bad. The worst was what she called the tree punishment. She'd whip my back with these thin tree
What?
branches like a whip.
Please, Mama. I won't do it again.
Yo, is George profiling right now?
I'm sorry, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like I said, we're due for some levity.
Tree punishment was definitely the worst, I tell you. Just hearing those words used to make me shiver and want to pass out. And that's why I didn't want to show you those scars on my back. Every time after the tree punishment, she'd always say the same thing. This is hurting the tree more than it is hurting you. And me, being a naive, dumb kid, I believed her. I went to the woods to apologize to the trees.
George, you're being too literal. That's not what she meant. It's a metaphor,
I
sweetheart.
kept asking myself, why is she hurting me this way? I thought long and hard about it. In the end, I've just figured I'm weaker than her. That's why. It's the law of Mother Nature at work.
Is that Thomas over there?
The strong eat the weak.
But now, you have the power to protect the weak.
That's right. Perhaps I should thank my mother for guiding me into this line of work.
It's not really what I meant, but
York.
boom,
I've been
boom,
an
boom,
arrogant
boom, boom.
fool, haven't I?
Yo, is that lady behind us okay?
Both Becky and Diane would still be alive.
Is she one of the zombies?
I could have saved them both. You know, it's almost like they died because of me.
You're out of your mind.
I invited you to this bar for a drink. But I guess this bar is my confession chamber. And I wanted you to listen. And to tell you, well, you must already hate me for causing all these problems, not following your orders. York, I'm sorry. I'll follow
They're
your
gonna
orders
hold
from now
hands.
on. You'll have my total cooperation.
Yo, thank you, an
George.
anonymous cheerer.
You've been as cooperative as you can be.
My man's wearing
You
a
even
hard hat
invited an
inside.
FBI guy to a bar for drinks. You've done a good job protecting this town. And the folks here respect you for that. Nobody can blame you for anything.
Thanks. I do feel a little better.
Well, wait till tomorrow morning. I'd better get something to eat soon, Zach. The folks here sure drink a lot. She might be the main reason they come here, though.
Hey, Carol. Becky is dead.
Nice to see you
Diane,
as well.
too. We've got Nick in custody as a suspect.
Yo, this is official police
Nick
business.
didn't do it.
You can't just be
yeah.
divulging all this confidential information
You
out
took
there.
a locket from Diane, didn't you? A locket with this mark on it.
You gotta turn the photo around, dude.
I'm busy, gotta go.
I love talking with Carol. We have so much in common. Is that Thomas? Also, why is everybody in this town now beset with dark circles under their eyes? Oh, she's good. Is she saying real words? I dream of feet like glisteners who are kosher, survive in a sense. Everyone's just ridden Notre Dame. I feel out of Dree. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful performance. We were all thinking it, but only she had the courage to say it. Oh my god, dude. Get some vitamins. That is not normal. Eat some leafy greens. I beg you. Amazing. Wow, great performance, Carol. What does this song mean? My brother is at the sheriff's department, isn't he? Poor guy having to watch over Nick, who didn't even do anything. Idiot. Carol! Rock and roll, baby! Carol! Oh, she's so good. Like, this door leads to a storage room. If we're gonna have a drink, I prefer the counter. Got him. How about you guys? No? Okay. Madam? Sir? Well, I think we're done here. It's time to go, George. Oh. Or is it?
Sorry to keep you waiting, boys.
Oh, Lisa!
Emily is already a goddess of the forest.
Let's forget work for a bit and drink a little, shall we?
She's a little overdressed.
York? Why is she here?
I just thought the more the merrier. You know, to relax and get loose. Is this a problem?
No, of course not. Pardon me, Emily, but I'm pooped. I think I'll just call it a night.
George.
George
I
is
just
an
got
incel.
here and you're walking out on me? I was hoping the three of us could have a drink and let out a little steam.
I'm afraid I've already had enough. And I already had a good man-to-man with York. So
He
I'll
doesn't
see you
mean it
guys.
like that, Emily. Thought I told you no chicks allowed, York.
I think George likes you, but he's avoiding you all at the same time.
How astute.
There's a reason?
Nothing worth going into. It's a thing of the past.
It's called tree punishment.
Okay. He did ask me out when I first came to town. I was still in high school.
George?
But I never really considered him my type. And there's the age gap thing, too.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
respect
there's the
him, of
age
course.
gap thing,
I
too.
wouldn't have taken this job otherwise.
Wasn't really my type, also.
This town.
I was a high school junior.
Of course not. I came with my parents.
Tell me about them then.
Sure, why not? My dad dealt in stocks in New York. He
Hey,
was hardly at home when I was
I'm
a kid,
trading here.
always working.
buy, sell,
Those
sell.
pieces of paper were far more important to him than I was. Which is no different now, really. I don't see much of him. My mother? Totally different story. A wonderful person that I still respect.
Rip Dad.
She was always kind and understanding. Not only that, but she would always help me find my way. She could be fierce, too, scolding me if I took a wrong step.
Beating me with
We had our
dry
battles,
reeds.
sure, but all in all, she was a wonderful mother.
Past tense?
Yeah, she's gone now. Cancer, just before I graduated high school. She gave this to me just
kind
before
of a
she
rough
died.
scholastic
I
experience, huh?
take it with me wherever I go. It's what I treasure most.
$5 on Etsy.
I'm sure she's very proud of you.
$5 on Wish, $30 on Etsy. Absolutely correct. Galaxy of
I had a good time
Terror.
tonight. Good night,
See you tomorrow.
York.
Yes.
Yes.
Please, don't lie to us, okay?
I won't. Don't worry. I won't.
All right. Well, see you tomorrow. We need to eat something, dude. Look at that. We're almost dead. Give me the sugar donut. After a long night of drinking. One donut before bed. Keeps the hangover at bay. Gonna wake up feeling like a grain of salt. Now to Corpse Tunnel. No. Now to the hotel. I think Peggy, she's got some banter for us. I don't think you should be driving. Excuse me, if you watch the, Polly, whatever. If you watch the, bar scene, we didn't have a drink.
Zach.
Everybody else was drinking.
Picking up from where we left off.
Let's focus on the case at hand. The murders with the red seeds. Officially, the Bureau has not made a statement about these seeds. Some even claim that they are irrelevant to the killings. But after the red seeds were found in a Boston homicide, I've been unable to get them out of my head. I've even gone through all of the files looking for similar cases, and we found 7 other homicides related to the seeds. The victims were all young girls, and they were killed in 8 different states. They arrested all 7 murderers, but there was no connection between them. However, we must not
Please finish your
overlook there was
conversation.
one thing linking the cases together, and that's the red seeds.
And I have a hunch. This case here in Greenvale is going to lead us to the truth about those seeds. Don't you think so, Zach?
Well, let's just do what we can do and do our best. And by doing our best, I'm sure we'll get to where we need to go.
Yo, who needs a backup camera? Oh, the cats look so relaxed. If I had my phone, I would take a picture, but yeah, it's a trivia time. Get ready.
Zach, let's go over our progress.
You gotta
From
be
what
on your A
Olivia
game.
told us, and the sketchbook we found at Becky's house, Nick and Diane became our primary suspects. There were a couple of reasons for this. First, Becky gave the missing locket to Diane. Also, Nick has no alibi for when Anna and Becky were killed.
Yeah.
We followed Nick to the art gallery, which led us, unfortunately, to our third victim. The third victim,
That's Diane. Yeah, got it.
was strung up in the entrance hall of the art gallery. Her hands were tied and a knife was sticking out of her chest. However, there was a marked difference from the previous crimes.
Yeah, George was here.
Do you remember what that was, Zach?
Marked difference. It was right after the crime.
That's right. Diane was still alive.
I mean, Becky was still
This suggests that
alive.
very little time had passed since the crime was committed. Which means the criminal was still close by. It was someone near the scene. There are 2 possible candidates. Nick, who was knocked out in the entrance, and one other.
Zach, who was the other person in the gallery?
That was Kaysen, aka Gaben.
That's right, Casey. We followed Willie, good dog, all the way to him. Cason's statement came out as follows. He and Diane were in a physical relationship.
He's just horny, dude.
That was why he visited the gallery.
Does he look like he's into
The 2
art?
were in the middle of such a meeting when Nick showed up. Diane lost her cool and shut Kaysen up in the basement. Now, what did Kaysen hear when he was locked up?
Footsteps of boots.
That's it. The sound of boots passing by.
The sound of boots.
Nick was wearing boots that day. Which means it was likely that Diane met with Nick in her room. Nick said he argued verbally with Diane about her playing around with men, but they eventually decided to go out drinking to make up. However,
strategy.
immediately after that, Nick was attacked by someone in the entrance hall and knocked unconscious. We saw the rest.
Zach, do you think that Nick is our serial killer?
I think no. There's 3 emojis. There's Malv smile, dang Deb 8, thinking. Malv smile, dang Deb 8, thinking.
Me too. Asha sent in a report too. He found a large volume of red seeds in Diane's stomach. This confirms her as a victim of the Raincoat Killer.
Is it possible that Kaysen ejaculates ketchup?
There's the locket, which is in Carol's possession. The man with the tattooed back, and the upside-down peace sign. There's a lot left to answer. I hope the coffee will give us more guidance tomorrow.
Think about how many pieces that would put into place. Shoes on the bed.
Zach, what did you think about George pouring his heart
Confirmed
out?
alien.
I was surprised. It's the end of a monarchy. And he called me York instead of Agent Morgan.
Boom, boom, ba-doom, boom, 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 ba-doom. Those are the sound of boots, dude. Oh, that's our shoes, which are still very wet, apparently. I knew it!
Emily? What's going on? Do you know what time it is?
I'm sorry. I couldn't sleep, so I was drinking alone.
She needs help. Oh.
My mother was a very kind woman. She always smiled so brightly.
Took 2 hours.
Cakes,
We finally
cookies
got
every
it.
day. She'd say that I needed the sugar because I spent so much time thinking.
Me when I eat
My father was always quiet.
a tablespoon
He
of
never
peanut
talked
butter
much.
after I
He was a
finish
federal
eating.
agent, just like me.
What is he doing? Look
And
at
he
that
was
body
very
language.
The only words he ever had for me were harsh ones. I had a vivid imagination, and I remember he once said this to me. There are plenty of crazy things in this world. You don't have to go dreaming them up. And it's my job to make sense out of them. One day you'll understand what I'm saying. I found out later that my father was one of the first to ever use
yes.
criminal profiling to catch
Yeah.
bad guys.
Oh, really?
And so now I'm
Haha.
doing exactly the same job that he did. Like father, like son.
Can I ask you something?
Shoot.
Mind if it's something personal?
We're in, boys.
Fire away.
Who's Zach?
Ooh.
Zach is a friend of mine.
Oh, so you do have friends.
Yeah. He's my only friend.
What kind of person is he then?
Well,
Well,
I've never
well,
seen his
Chad,
face.
what kind of person are you?
but he's always with me, and we discuss everything.
When did you become friends?
A long time ago. Back when I was a child.
Roughly 2011. Mama told me not to, I did it anyway, misbehaving. Oh no!
I was 7. I woke up one morning to hear my mother crying in the living room. This wasn't normal, so I headed in to see her. My father was there pointing a gun at my mother. I was so scared. I closed my eyes, so I don't remember much more. But I do remember the words my father said to me. At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means losing someone that you love.
His dad was the Joker.
When I came back to my senses, they were both dead. He shot my mother and then killed himself.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it. Zach's with me. It was around that time that we became friends.
I'm here. I'm with you, he said. I'll be here always. We can get through this together. Quite aside from that terrible
That's how I felt
scene in
about
front of me,
Chad
that voice seemed to
halfway
make
through
me
Bully.
calmer.
He sits like a total
Working together.
nerd.
Getting through things.
This is the first time I've ever told anyone about this. I wonder if Zach will get angry.
Well, Chad, rage face?
That's a
Rage
sad
face or
story.
mouth smile?
But I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm sure there was a reason for what your father did.
Wrong thing to say, Emily.
I know. I think maybe I became an agent to find out.
Definitely the wrong thing to say.
Oh yeah, York. I forgot to thank you.
Thank For what?
You saved my life. If you didn't save me at the gallery, I would have died along with Diane.
No need to thank me for that. I'm pretty useless.
Oh,
I couldn't save Becky. I couldn't save Diane.
What did you just say? Useless?
uh-oh. I knew
I was
it.
never expecting to hear you say that. Huh. There might be a modest guy in you after all.
Finally, you noticed? You're a little slow, aren't you?
Wow.
Maybe hopeless, but not useless.
And now she's
Zach.
gone.
Do you think Emily got home safely?
Anyway, I think it's more serious of a situation than I thought. Do you remember? Our conversation with
You're a
Emily.
little slow, aren't you?
She's really interested in you. I think she's starting to have certain feelings for you.
If that's the case, Zach, you and I are rivals. This is a very serious situation indeed.
Well, if it comes to that, let it be a fair fight. Agreed?
Is Zach the final boss?